So far in this save, he must be the most butterfingered goalkeeper I've had. And that's sad, but we can fix it.
Don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. I won't wait for you, 'cause you keep telling lies. I keep going high, she keeps going low. At the end of the day, she's gone. But you don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. And you keep telling lies.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Outcasts to Icons. If you've been enjoying the series, of course, drop a like on the video. That would be tremendous. Helps out the channel a great deal. Today, I thought we'd start on the page of Sebastiano BG, because his name is in fact pronounced BG. Now, no face for him at the moment. I have run the Z-Gen thingy, and lots of the other players have got faces, but for some reason, none of the players in our youth teams have got faces, even though I've done the whole exclude, or turned off the exclude to swallow players thing. So for some reason, it's not picking them up and giving them new faces. I don't know why. Bit weird, but yeah, so that's him. He's bloody excellent, isn't he? Still only 15 years old, of course. He's wanted by other clubs, which is not a huge surprise, but he has got a pro deal. Well, he will have a pro deal anyway, so that's not too much of an issue for us right now. And I really do hope that we could build something here with the likes of BG and Ramon and whoever else could come through this academy in the next couple of seasons, because I tell you what, it'd be cool if these guys were a part of a team that actually achieved something at Sassuolo. That'd be sick. In other news, would you believe Sebastiano BG is a big fan of a certain musical group? That's right, Led Zeppelin. He bloody loves Led Zeppelin. His mother introduced him to him when he was very young. He's still very young now, but he can be seen just banging out Led Zeppelin tunes in the under-21s dressing room, because he's probably good enough for the under-21s, let's face it. And hopefully we can take Sassuolo on a stairway to heaven, which hopefully is the Champions League. We have 6 games left of the season. We're going to do 4 of them in today's episode, and 2 of them in tomorrow's one, because tomorrow I want to do a bit of a deep dive into the squad as well, so we can have a little look and do some plans for the summer, because obviously it's difficult, because I know I want to sign a lot of players, and in terms of like renovating this squad a lot. It's going to take us a few windows. I honestly think about 2 years to fully get rid of all the dead weight players and bring in the ones I want, to bring in some young, fresh up-and-comers to really sort this team out in the way that I want. And most of that is going to be focusing on the defence for now, but obviously if I was to see any excellent striking options too, or just any forward players that really strike my fancy, then perhaps. But we've also, remember, got Galvash joining us, and I really do think that Galvash could be an excellent player one day, and he's not even that far off of it now. I think he's actually 3 stars in this team, which is insane. And of course, thank you for the advice on the last episode about the whole squad registration thing. And I just wanted to show you what I saw and why it was confusing to me, because I think this is quite important. It's very confusing. So if I go onto the Serie A squad registration page, this is the one that was getting me. Maximum of 2 new players to be added to the squad to replace other registered or previously registered players. So this is why I was like, well, hell, because nothing there says anything about non-EU. Now, from what I'm told, that is non-EU players, but it literally doesn't say so. It just says new players, which is why I was a little bit like, are you sure about that, FM? So I think hopefully that's going to be the case, and we can still just bring in players who are from the EU, and that's fine, and then 2 non-EU if we want to, which would give us the opportunity to bring in, if we find another sort of Fernando de Ana type guy. And we've actually found 2 excellent Argentinian centre-backs in this save. There's no reason why I can't go and find myself a 3rd one, hopefully, or just go and steal one of those. I am scouting Leandro Crispin as well, but he wasn't really good enough for our last club, so I don't think he's going to be good enough here. Just in case anyone was curious, obviously I've only just started scouting him, but I think that it's unlikely he's going to be good enough for us. It's cool that he's been at Sega now for 5 years, and it's having a bloody lovely time, it would seem. Vitesse sacked Marcel Keizer, the guy that just won them the league and the cup in the Netherlands, and they've sacked him. Now, their league form hasn't been spectacular, but seriously? It's mad. Anyway, today we host Spal, who are, of course, only 3 points below us in the league. Worst goal difference. Not that that is hugely important in Italy, but it's nice to have anyway. We want to kind of bounce back after that poor performance in the last game. We've kind of been a bit... I say iffy. We've actually been fine. I think we've started a lot better than we did at Osasuna, that's for sure. But I want to get back to the sort of style and the vibe that we were getting in the first couple of games in charge, where we were scoring for fun and looking very, very stable. And hopefully we can get back to that in these final few games, because we've got Spal now, we've got Vicenza up next after that as well. If we could get 2 wins or 4 points from those 2 games, that would be... I'd take that. I would happily take that. That would put us to 41 points, nice and cushy of the safety zone. And to be fair, we are still 6 points above that right now, so we're really in very little danger. There have been some slight problems in that both Caicedo and Fausto Faris are both suspended for this game. Now, my assistant wants to take out Kudus, and I just cannot understand the logic of bringing out Mohamed Kudus. He has been brilliant so far in this set. I cannot believe how good he is, considering I was like, oh, what about that finishing? I'm not sure. Radu, you can see he's had a bit of a poor time in goal so far, so I'm going to need a bit more out of him, though. So I might even look for another goalkeeper in the summer if he continues to put in these sort of very average, conceding every shot type of performances. So we'll do a selection of ice anyway, and then I'll adjust on the fly. So, I see what it is. So he wants to put Kudus back there as a B... no. Are you sure about that? 5 tackling, 4... Yeah, no, assistant. What are you doing? This is why we need Dinko sooner rather than later. What about Pacino? What's his tackling like? It's actually not awful, to be fair. Tackling's not... It's a lot better than his. Marking's not great, but Matteo Pacino may have to play there. There's anyone else that can play that role better than him. Andrea Attardi, but he's not fully fit. I think I'm happy to stick Pacino there. It's not really where I'd want him to be, but I'm happy to put him there for now. Everybody else, though, fairly confident about that. Marcus Paolo's struggled a little bit. I'm hoping that we can just sort of iron that out. And you know what? I'm going to give him. We're going to actually have a goalkeeper on the bench. I know. He will do nothing, ever. And apparently, Siggy Jonsson's first 2 names means Storm Eagle. That is an incredibly aggressive name, and I'm a big fan. Lazio wants to know your location, sir. And maybe Crystal Palace, too, for that matter. I mean, they said we're on a spell of poor form, and I agree to a certain extent, but we're only 11th in the form standings. We've lost 3 of our last 5, but we have won the other 2 in fairness. So, you know, maybe simmer down, media, a little bit. They're in much worse form. Much worse. It's barely worse. If we win this game and start to look a little bit more like ourselves again, I will be extremely happy. After that last performance was just... I think it was just too many mistakes in the last game, really. We gave them too many opportunities, but most of them were from us rather than from them. Very subdued 15 minutes. Nothing really happening. Not Sassuolo, sorry. Spallev allegedly had a couple of shots which we've not seen. Panico. Hopefully we don't Panico. Good block. Well played. Hopefully we don't concede off this corner, though. We need to get something going, because right now we've been a very lethargic start to this game, and oh dearie me, goalkeeper. Yeah, I don't like this goalkeeper. It feels like he just lets everything through him, no matter how weak or strong the shot or chance is. Like, what is he doing here? Like, why are you punching it, Radu? Just catch it! Yeah, I think the reason I'm not so concerned is because I know that we can play well and score lots of goals, because we literally scored 8 goals in our first 2 games in charge. So clearly this team can score a lot of goals and play very well. We just need to get that out of them a little bit more. Marcus Paolo cutting back inside. Kudos! And there's the equaliser on the stroke of half-time. Miami Kudos doing his thing. Sassuolo 1, Spal 0. We just needed a little bit of faith. We've still been a little bit janky in places, but I think it's just going to come with time, cohesion, the links building up, getting the right players in the right position. Marcus Paolo does brilliantly here. Cutting back inside both of those players, finding Kudus, a great first touch, back onto his favoured left, and makes it 1-1. 5th goal since we took over is pretty impressive for him, to be fair. So, half-time, very, very even in the end, but really, that's just because we had the big chance with Kudus. Hopefully we can build on that in the second period and start to grind through a little bit. We sort of stymied them a little bit and started to get a little bit better ourselves, but there still needs to be more work done. Just nice to see him make a save. Or not have to make a save, ideally. Mohamed Kudus, he's through again. Go on, Mohamed, you can do it, buddy! Oh, I mean, maybe just a little bit overconfident there. Nice bit of play, though. The way he dispossessed the defender again. Skov Olsen's ball through. Marquise, it's going to come back to Skov Olsen on his favoured right foot. So hopefully, or to be fair, he doesn't really have a favoured foot. He could use all feet, all 3 of them. That's what they told me in the changing rooms. I'm just saying. Kudus again with space to run into as well. So it's around the side for Siggy Jonsson, and it is on off the post. Stimir un Siggy Jonsson, the Storm Eagle himself. We've banged them in between we banged them before and after half time. And again, Kudus, beautifulness. This is a really nice pick out actually from Constantinu here. And Siggy Jonsson drops the ball off, and then they track the wrong people, give him so much space. But what a ball that is. And a lovely finish on his left foot as well. And another goal for the Storm Eagle. That is huge. Though we do have a set piece here. Going to make a couple more subs to freshen things up for the past 10 minutes. Attardi's ball in. Corbo's header, and it's... Oh, it could be one here. Go on, tackle him. Yes, Kudus. Yes, well. Yes, Marcus Paolo. Oh, and it's a good save by Gasparini, but another chance there for us. I don't know what's happened to us. From about the 30th minute onwards in this game, we've just completely stepped up and realised who we were. Although you could argue that perhaps their goal being the set piece in the way that it was perhaps a little bit, not against the run of play, but didn't really show the reflection of the game. Flans now with the shot. Another shot goes out for a corner now. Oh no, please not another corner. Come on, Radu, please. Just collect this ball. Panico's ball in. Oh, you joking. Vincenzo Piergiovanni makes it 2-2. Both goals of essentially... did the keeper even move that time? In fairness, it looked like it was a bit of a mismatch at the back post. But where's the goalkeeper on this one? It's a good header. Oh. We've basically run this game and given up 2 really shitty set-piece goals. The second one was just actually a very, very good header. Frustrating when it's followed by the first one, though, which easily could have been prevented. And that's cost us points in this game. Regardless of what happens with the second one, the goalkeeper has still cost us points here by failing to save virtually anything in this match. And it's frustrating because I think we played pretty well on the night here and probably deserved the victory, but you can't get the victory if you do that. Oh, dearie me. Definitely going to have to take a look at the defending of the set pieces, but you will sometimes just concede from set pieces. It's going to happen. Football is like that. But the first one is definitely preventable if the goalkeeper just has hands. Anyway, a couple of games off camera, back in a minute. That's disappointing, but hopefully we can get ourselves back going against Vicenza and get the 4 points I was hoping for. See you guys in a sec. Right, we're back. So I noticed a slight error in our set piece defending. I'll talk about more of that in a second, but first we went away to Vicenza, bottom or second bottom of the league. Eventually the ball comes through and is able to be put over the line by Mohamed Kudus after 12 minutes to give us the lead. He has just been extremely good this season. There's no bones about it. Then on the half an hour mark, Kudus again getting the ball out on the left-hand side, driving into the box this time, whips it across, comes back to Marcus Paolo for an absolutely thunderous strike. 2-0 on the half an hour mark. The goals were at least back. Kudus then won a penalty, took a penalty, 3-0 at half-time. Oh, sorry, not half-time. We did then concede a goal from a set piece anyway, right on the stroke of half-time with Mr. Flappy in goal there as well. In the second half, though, things started to stretch for us a little bit more. Siggy Jonsson getting the ball out on the right here. Bit of fortune with the way the ball breaks through to Marcus Paolo, but he drills it home for 4-1, and yet another game with 4 goals for us, which was very, very nice. However, with 7 minutes to go, they made a raft of substitutes, and so did we, and the game just kind of got a little bit stretched, and as a result, they were able to drill a lovely one in the bottom corner, which the keeper missed to make it 4-2. Disappointing from my part, but it is what it is. But then, in the 90th minute, Constantinou puts the ball through to Cesar. He gets it across, and who would be on the end of it but Mohamed Kudus, 5-2. A hat-trick for the main man, an excellent performance all round. These are the kind of performances that we were seeing earlier, and I know that we've got it in us. This team clearly can do this on the regular. Just have one of these games. You can say, I think, honestly, they were lucky to have the 2 goals that they did, but it is what it is. Still, a very, very strong performance. Kudus, hat-trick for him, beautiful. So, the error on defending was essentially, when I import the new tactics, obviously it imports set pieces with it, and sometimes I find that the player positions get moved around a little bit, and essentially, we had our attacking midfielder, Kudus, being the man trying to mark the back post when he just... yeah, he's not exactly an aerial threat. So I really do think that that was part of the reason why we were losing so many headers specifically to the back post that were just being won. Now, the second one, I take full responsibility for, obviously, because it was my mistake, and it was just a simple great header. The first one, obviously, it's still my mistake that he won the header, but the keeper has to do better than that. So I think so far in this save, he must be the most butterfingered goalkeeper I've had. And that's sad, but we can fix it. In our second game, we faced off against Empoli, and in the 83rd minute, they scored a wondrous free kick to take the lead. Frustrating times, but luckily, in the 89th minute, Kudus driving down the pitch yet again. Eventually, the ball breaks through to Blanco off the bench for 1-1. Not great. I think we definitely deserved more out of this game. We were very, very good going forward again. I just couldn't take the chances. The one thing in this game that really made the difference was Empoli were just throwing blocks for days. We had so many good opportunities that the player just waited a fraction of a second too long, and as a result, the Empoli player got the block in. And I think that really did cost us. I still think we were the better side and are a bit unfortunate. Really, out of our last 3 games, I honestly think we should have won all 3 of them. So today, only 5 points is a little bit disappointed. But again, it's still good signs. We're creating a ton of opportunities and still giving up little weak things at the back. But that's something we can fix. I honestly feel like if next season we just keep taking the same amount of opportunities that we have since we've taken over, and just tighten the defence up a little bit, it'll make a massive difference. As league-wise, we currently sit 12th. We're sort of just losing the coattails of Genoa slightly and falling back into the clutches of the teams below. 11 points off the relegation zone now. We really have sort of just stretched ourselves for the final part of this season to make sure of that. I think we've done okay. So, today we're away at Cagliari. This is not easy. They are 6th in the league. We're away from home. We're just going to go out and have a free hit. I was going to start experimenting some stuff at the end of the season, but honestly, I just kind of want to see out this now to get some data for us to build on so I can look at little opportunities. I've already started noticing things, hence the set piece thing, but I always want to find more if I can do. So, obviously, Corbo will be back in for this game as well. I do wonder if the lack of Corbo in the last game made a difference defensively. Not really sure. You can see, really, that Siggy Jonsson's been solid for us so far. Really pleased with him. Paolo has even got his form back as of late, which is nice too. Kudus has never really stopped being excellent. Caicedo's been solid. Flans has not been great for us, so we do need to have a look at that. But you can see that definitely the defenders are causing problems so far. Like, our defences, generally speaking, are green across the board for the most part, so that's something we need to work on. No point in dicking about. We're away at Cagliari. This is not going to be easy by any means. They've got Maitland-Niles in their team. I thought they had a player called... They've got... Hang on, surely that can't be... Oh, it's Tomislav Duvniak. I thought that was Carlo Duvniak. It's almost a free hit for us, but not entirely. I've still got some expectations about what I want to see from us performance-wise. Like, if we go here and we give it our all and we lose in a hard-fought game, it is what it is. But I want to see us at least put in that fight. Like, we've shown a good amount of creativity in the last few games, but it's just been those little things that have let us down. Those set-piece defending really has cost us dreadfully. When you actually look at our last few goals conceded, overall, there was 2 goals conceded from corners against Spal. We conceded a goal from a corner against Vicenza. We conceded a goal from a free kick, albeit a direct one, against Empoli as well. That's costing us points, but those are things that you can fix. Without even doing anything tactically, you can fix that stuff. See, when Caicedo gets the ball in this position, I'm just never really sure that I find like Pavlich would often be looking up to try to find a more, oh, SecondYellowCard, good stuff, and it's cleared away again. We've actually started quite brightly here. I always found that Pavlich was looking for the forward pass, whereas Caicedo tends to drop the ball back, and it might be because he's on his wrong foot. That's the danger, losing the ball in this position. So good ball. What a ball. Go on, get tackle on. Oh, please. Wow, we've got away with that then. No! Oh, Radu essentially has the rest of the season to try and win me over, or I may look for another goalkeeper in the summer. I realise we do have other goalkeepers, but I feel like there's potential. Radu does what I want in... Oh. Jordi Escobar on the stroke of half-time, 1-0 Cagliari. Nothing the keeper could do. Maybe he could come for it. I don't know. Let's see how far away it was. It's always funny when you see the keeper absolutely flapping, though. Like, how long does this travel? Should he have come for this? Honestly, I'd argue the defender is more at fault for not challenging the header and instead backing into our goalkeeper. Wow. A very, very even first half of football here, and annoyingly, once again, we find ourselves on the negative side of that. Right, go on, Marcus. Great ball away for Kudus. And now we've got the same situation at the other end. Kudus could just drive through here. He's all the way in. SecondYellowCard goes for Flans. Oh, they overplayed it. They overplayed it. I think maybe one of them just needed to take control of that situation and go in and just drive in and have a shot there. Because, yeah, Flans is not the man I wanted on the end of that, if I'm honest. Skov Olsen goes through. Oh, and that's what I mean. In the Empoli game, they just weren't taking the shot quick enough. And as a result, and our tempo's pretty high as well. That was a chance for a Skov Olsen. Faris, and it's headed away, but Skov Olsen's letting that go out for a throw-in because reasons. Putting in a pretty good performance from us here, and Skov Olsen's going to win the header again. And this time, SecondYellowCard's going to get on the end of it. We've got bodies in the box. Plenty of them. Two. One of them is Flans, and it's just wide. If we somehow pull out a draw here, I'd be extremely happy with that. Flans. Right. Skov Olsen again. There's runners once more. And he's found one of them, and that man is Kudus, who's hit the post. Got support. He needs to use it. Skov Olsen. Can he find another good pass? He actually does, yes, SecondYellowCard. And is there a ball in behind for Kudus? There is! Kudus is in again! Bloody hell. I mean, I don't think he's doing a lot wrong. I mean, that one was a good shot on target, and the goalkeeper's just pulled out another absolute worldie. Well, one last chance, really. Kudus' ball in, and Flans! We were never going to score in this game, were we? We were never going to score a goal in this match. Like, we've had some incredible... and they've not even done badly with the chances either. The goalkeeper's just been unstoppable. It's going to be 1-0 to Cagliari. And I don't know how we haven't scored in that game. I think we were very, very good and matched them pound for pound, except where it mattered, in front of goal. Yeah, I don't know. Our last two games, we've only managed to score one goal out of an XG of nearly 4. But admittedly, it kind of balances out anyway. But it's good to see that we're still creating that. And it is, I think we're just a bit unfortunate today. The goalkeeper's had an absolutely brilliant performance. To be fair, like there was those two Mohamed chances, two Kudus chances rather. There was a SecondYellowCard chance. There was so many chances in that game that would normally be goals. Wow. Still, good performance from the lads. Disappointing not to get the result, though. So we are now 12th, which I think is still fine. As long as we can sort of finish into it. But it's starting to get a little bit tight in there, and we could still fall down as far as 15th. And the problem is, our last two games are Samp and Lazio, which are not going to be easy. I think Samp's at home, which is something. But there's points here that we could have had that we've just not got, and I can see the reasons for it. And I feel like we can change that simply with personnel a lot of the time. Kudus has been excellent for us this season, so I can't begrudge him the occasional off day. And even that, I don't think he even played that badly. I think he came up against there was that one where he missed the target, but that second chance he had, really, it's all because of the goalkeeper more than anything else. So I really do feel like going into these final two games of the season, we'll just try our best. But I'm still pretty happy with the lads overall. We can build into next season, get the right setup that we want. We're still sort of playing with our hand behind our back a little bit at the moment. We need to sort of sort that out, really. So let's go and try and do that. We're still looking... There's very little difference in terms of our performance-wise in this game compared to someone like this game, or this game, really. It's just the chance quality and the taking of the chances is the only difference. And, yeah. But, nevertheless, we move on. So, if you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have, drop a like on the video. That'd be superb. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. That'd be great, too. I stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturday. So go follow there, too. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the final two games of the season. We'll have a little look at the squad depth as well in there, just so we can work out exactly where we want to target. Maybe if I've got a few signings that are not lined up, but ones I want to go for, I could certainly preview a few of those with you as well. Maybe put a bid in or two. You never know. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.